Okay, we've got the incoming swarm, which is the mission to correspond with the last episode which was on, which was the lucky ones. Let's just skip back and savor the moment. Oh yes, the funky new riot shield. It's going to be a while before I can upgrade it because I've got some heroes and other weapons that I've got to sort out. But it looks like a fun bruiser weapon, and bruisers do need some fun. Yeah, so let's see what the mission is, and let's have a little chat about the episode as well. Incoming swarm, we have to stop the horde. Okay, so this is... yeah, there was a bit in the episode at Hilltop, towards the end of the episode, where they had to deal with an incoming load of walkers, which of course the Commonwealth is referred to as a swarm. Mercer is back in this mission, and he's got his machine gun. So last time he was as a scout, he had his knife. This time... I mean, this looks like a pretty straight up, simple, just kill them all, you know, kind of mission that we've got here. I wonder if it's got any surprises for us. 2 ranged characters back to back. Quite a big map. Yeah, there's a little scope for some hidey stuff around those bushes. And then we get out of there. Okay, so we'll try it on hard, but I don't think this is going to be any jakes. Just stand there, mow down the enemy. What can you say? Not too tricky. Okay, so the episode, the lucky ones. Yeah, I've got an opinion about this. Generally speaking, I think this whole Commonwealth thing is a little bit strange. I think this season we sort of had a through line, which was the Reapers, I think they were called, those survivalists, insanely, you know, fanatical, well-trained military guys who were really quite a handful for our heroes. You know, we learned that they had a slightly crummy kind of thesis behind what they were doing. Basically, they were religious fanatics, but you know, I mean, they were a pretty credible threat for our heroes. They lasted for the first, you know, sort of 2/3 of the season, and then, you know, they kind of literally died out. Now we've got the Commonwealth, which was hinted for a little while, and we've learned about them. They ostensibly seem to be the bad guys, although I can't quite figure out if they seem to be getting angled as such now with an overambitious member of their parliament. But we keep learning that, you know, they're kicks, but all in all, they have a very stable and safe society. Quite different from anything that the survivors have ever had, except maybe Alexandria. And yeah, we've got just a handful of episodes to go, and it just seems like such a strange choice that we are focusing on this. It's like we have a whole new storyline that we're focusing on as we're getting to like the last 6 episodes of this entire show, and it hasn't bothered me up until this point, but we've had another Commonwealth-centric episode, and it's baffling because I don't feel like I know where it's going. What's happening? I want to know. I want to see Maggie. I want to see the other guys maybe deciding what they want to do with their lives. I guess Commonwealth is kind of doing that, but not in a very cohesive or compelling way. Anyway, that's enough about it broadly. Let's talk about the episode specifically. So, the lucky ones. Go on then, let's have some extra... okay, let's have some extra XP for this thing. And yum yum. Yeah, why the hell not? So, it starts off with us finding out over cheesy voiceover about the aspirations and hobbies of another new character. Just as the show is winding down. And this is what I mean. It's like, the show is winding down. Why are you introducing these new characters and through lines and stuff? It's mind-boggling. I don't understand it. So, and the whole opening, the whole pre-credit scene, it looked and felt and played out like a literal soap opera. It was weird. It's so bizarre. I know that the latter part of this season has been criticised for feeling a bit like a soap opera. I reject that. Except for this particular part. It's so strange. It looked just... I don't know if it was done on purpose. Is it supposed to be a parody? It looked like a cheesy soap opera. It's so strange. And then, you know what it's like when you're not really on board with something. You start to notice other little things that nitpick you. So, for example, when they're in the hospital, it seems like such a strange thing. But the wild track, you know, just the general background hubbub, it sounded exactly like a normal modern day hospital. This is supposed to be a hospital in the apocalypse. How busy is it? Like, how much equipment, how many procedures are they actually doing? It's like, because they keep going on about how strictly limited the places are, how people are suffering and dying so much. But it sounded like it was Chicago Hope or something, or the hospital in Scrubs or something. Like, the wild, it's really strange, and it seemed like a detail that just seemed off. I'm not going to keep on complaining too much. I do have at least one or two good things to say, but let's get to it. We go to Oceanside, and they're discussing mutual policies with Hilltop. Thrilling. Rosita's little chat with Eugene was actually quite interesting. She's content, happy to be looking after her baby in a safe environment, has some regrets and honours them, but she appreciates what she has in the moment. She's kind of on board with this safe, secure way of existing, and she seemed perfectly rational and reasonable. I liked that. And it ties into another scene that I liked later. The only two scenes in the episode that I liked, but I did like that. Rosie has a chat with Eugene. She takes on board what he's saying, but she's like, I think being safe and secure and stable and generally content and having ice cream is a good thing. I appreciated that. Last little complaint, it bugs me that Mercer wouldn't be able to reach that covered holstered pistol that he has secured square on his back, on the back of his trousers. He wouldn't be able to, it's completely useless. It's covered. He's in that armor, which is kind of restrictive. If he needed to use that tiny little pea shooter that he has, why is it in such an awkward place? It's just one of those little things that baffles me, and because I wasn't really into the episode, I was noticing these little things. I'm just like, that tiny little pistol that he has, like, sat right on the small of his back, is really impractical, and it wouldn't serve much of a purpose if he actually needed to use it. Not that he ever does, even though he could. You know, anyway, just a little thing. There was a nice moment of reflection from Maggie at the end as she notices Daryl being bossed around, as she notices the soldiers lining up and being shouted and ordered at by Mercer, and it sells her decision to not acquiesce to what seems like the warm, enveloping embrace of the Commonwealth. It's a small scene. There wasn't actually any dialogue from her between any characters or anything. She's just taking the time to observe what the Commonwealth is, see how they operate, and you get why she is not on board with this safe, secure, but very regimented and structured society of which everyone is merely just a cog. And I thought that last scene sold it well. I've not been on Maggie's side with this. I've always thought, like, look, Commonwealth isn't perfect, but they're okay. You know, it's as good as it's going to get. seeing that sort of authoritarian behavior, I thought, really nice scene, really nicely done. It stands out like a sore thumb in that episode, which is so strange, and otherwise quite badly done. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Incoming Swarm, the mission that goes with the Lucky Ones episode. What do you think of the episode? I hope I didn't put too much of it. I do love this show. Not every episode is going to be great. Never is, especially not in 11 years. So this is just one of those. What did you think? If you did like it, please do let me know. And if you agree with me, please do let me know. And as ever, thanks for watching.